Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
Perry Tonking is an engineer who has worked to solve utility infrastructure problems in countries across the globe. His most recent project was to transform the systems in the Republic of Kiribati, which had degraded to a point where only 60% of the population had access to water and 40% to wastewater services.
The utility had been very much run down when I got there, and as a result of that there was a tremendous amount of trash and garbage lying around, wasted assets and vehicles and equipment that had just been left to rot over 3 decades. And that was making it very difficult to look after the facilities. There was a very low level of maintenance, and the business itself also had some real difficulties within the business in terms of its processes and the way the business actually functioned.
Acting as the CEO of the Kiribati Public Utilities Board, he came up with what he described as a simple transformational strategy involving 3 key elements.
Being the custodians of what I consider to be very precious resources, we had to lead the concept of conservation, especially from within the business itself. So learning to conserve energy, through our use of energy within our facilities, all the way through to managing water in such a way that we saved every last drop. And in fact, that was one of our catchphrases. And we converted that transformational strategy into a tagline for our frontline, which was the PUB, where cleanliness, safety and conservation truly matters. And we made certain that we made that every part of what we did as our business.
With more than 25 years' experience in the industry, Tonking is a strong believer in the importance of utilities to the viability of an economy. And his first impression of Guam was that it has very good utility systems. He was amazed, for example, at our water system.
It's one of the few countries in the Pacific Rim that I'm aware of and that I've experienced where you can actually drink the water out of the taps. I mean, we've actually enjoyed that being out here. I mean, it's just blissful to be able to consume water that comes from a tap.
His advice to Guam is to continue to look after what he described as fantastic assets and resources and make sure they are maintained to the best possible condition. But he said most importantly, look after the personnel that actually make things happen, because they tend to be the most critical asset.
There is always room for improvement, and there's always continuous improvement on the go. But I honestly believe that you've got the fundamentals in place. I mean, you've got good quality utilities. You have an abundance of water. So I was just saying earlier that your water abundance is a real credit to your country, and it's a real asset. That is a very strategic asset, and the fact that you've got enough water to supply the entire community and provide their need is excellent. I mean, that's an excellent position to be in.
Tonking says from his vantage point, it's clear that Guam has invested a considerable amount of capital into its utility infrastructure. But of course, he says, utilities will age, and his advice is to keep a clear vision of where you want to go, set very simple priorities to get there, but also be decisive in what you do. He believes for the foreseeable future, water and power utilities will essentially remain the same.
Unless there's breakthrough technology that is going to completely rule out the use of fossil fuel energies, I'm not certain whether it's going to happen as quickly as people say. Certainly there's a lot of investment in technology and in research into into renewable energy sources. However, there's still a long way to go. And I think there's still some way to go before your renewable energy becomes a mainstream in terms of providing utility to large communities.
For KOM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Licanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.